videos. Today I'm going to be performing a balance of the camera on the Moza Air 2. If you're a beginner, this is definitely a video you want to watch, as it can be a bit tricky. Depending on the size of your rig, it could take anywhere from a few seconds to a few minutes. The adjustments can be very minute and a little time consuming, but you definitely have to do it. It definitely will make a huge difference. So without further ado, please go ahead and watch the video, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Alright, first things first, you want to make sure that your gimbal is turned off before you go ahead and attach a camera to it. What we're going to do now is we're going to attach the quick release plate. You might want to near the center of the plate, but you might want to move it more towards the back of the plate if you have a longer lens. Insert the plate onto the bottom of the camera like so. Like I said, do the adjustments to where you think it's going to work. If you find out you can't balance the camera very well, you can always just take it off and readjust the plate. Moza provides this nice little gadget here to help screw it on, and it also helps with the battery compartment, taking that off of the gimbal, because it's pretty snug on there to take off with just your fingers. So you definitely want to use this to press down on a little button, unless you have stronger hands than I do, and maybe you won't need it. So yeah, once that's attached, we're going to attach it to the gimbal. You can either approach it from the back or the front, but here you want to engage the roll locking. As you can see, it'll stop the camera from spinning around. That's a pretty handy feature to have. Makes it a lot easier to just slide this on. Make sure your button is set to lock, and then you'll want to move the bottom plate back and forth till you find the right balance. And it can take a bit. You have to do it in very small increments usually. Don't worry if it takes a while, it'll get there. Once you feel you've got it good enough, you go ahead and tighten that up. And now what we want to do is aim the camera lens directly up. We want to make sure that the camera doesn't fall frontwards or backwards. So now we have to adjust that. Adjust the pitch. Make sure it's pointing up on its own. Once it's pointing up on its own, you got the right balance, you go ahead and lock it down. A bit of a problem there, so now I have to redo it. Make sure that's locked, or you're going to have a problem like I had. Now we want to adjust the roll arm back and forth till the camera's level. If you have a camera that has electronic level, you might want to use this. And we'll do the pan or yaw adjustment. You'll need the gimbal to be horizontal for this last adjustment. There are a couple ways you can do that. You can have somebody else hold it for you. You can try to hold it yourself, which is tougher, which is what I'm going to do. Or you can attach it to a full-size tripod. But since I only have one tripod right now that I got my other camera on, I'm just going to have to make do holding it by hand. Adjust the pan yaw arm until it stays in position around the gimbal handle without rolling over. You know you have it right when you position the gimbal handle vertically, and the camera will stay generally in the upright level horizontal position. And there you go. Now we'll look at balancing the motors. Alright, go into gimbal settings, motor, power, auto tune. Now what this is doing is automatically adjusting the strength of the motors, deciding how much power it should provide them depending on the weight of the rig you have set up. Quite a handy feature to have. It's quite useful. That way you save on battery power, because the gimbal knows exactly how much power to provide to each motor. Next we'll look at installing the Moza iFocus motor. First you need to decide which side of the lens you want the iFocus mounted on, and you also need to install a few things on your quick release plate first. Depending on the actual length of the lens, you're going to have to use one or two of these extension rods. These extension rods screw on pretty easily. After you put the rod on, put the belt onto the focus ring of your lens. Just wrap it around, make it nice and tight. Plug the mini jack cable from the iFocus, the little port on the bottom of the iFocus. You can plug the cable in there, and you take the other end of the cable, plug it into the gimbal. You just open up the rubber cap to where it says Cam Multi, and you'll see there's another little port for a mini jack in there. Now take the iFocus motor, slide it onto the extension rod until the cog lines up with the timing belt, and just tighten the screw. Hold the power button that's on the bottom of the iFocus until you see it start flashing green. When it goes solid blue, it's connected to the gimbal. Well, there you have it. As you can see, it can take a lot of fine tuning, but eventually you will get it. You just have to have a little patience. But once it's all done, you're able to just take the camera on and off, and unless you add other components to the camera like the iFocus, you should be good to go every time, just sliding the camera back on. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like it, please share and subscribe. I will be doing a full review soon. I'm in the midst of doing that right now. I hope you guys come and watch that. Anyways, take care guys. See you later.